In the chat.
Well, good to see you again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Is that your new gold record up there?
That's it, man. I got it all strategically placed here in my living room. But yeah, that's it. We got it
Oh, man.
this last tour. We've been waiting on those for technically we have two, but we haven't gotten the second one for Jenny. This one's for Go to War. But the label, we've been bugging them forever about this thing. We're like, you know what? We went gold. Where's our plaque, man?
Yeah, it's like, come on, let's go. But
Yeah,
that's awesome,
after this
man.
many years of hard work, it's like I want something. Just it's vain, but it's I need something to prove all those years of work.
And I don't think it's vain at all. I think it's well deserved, man, because people don't understand how much actually goes into being in a band on even entry level, the shit you have to go through. So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
well deserved. Gotta do
yeah,
it.
there's a lot behind the scenes, but thank you, thanks.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. But of course, the new Nothing More album, Carnal, is out on June 28th. I've been cranking it all this week. It's a great record, dude. And
Oh, nice,
man,
nice.
2 years was it 2 years since Spirits came out, and I guess with the touring cycle and everything for a band these days, that's pretty damn productive, man. Like how how far back do these songs go? Are they from the same era of writing sessions, or are you just pump them out while you're on the road?
Um, Honestly, this album was done a little differently than the rest. We would get together and fly to LA. Sometimes Nashville. We would do some writing sessions, but mainly we were in LA and we would just get an Airbnb and kind of live together for about a week or two at a time. And we made multiple trips like that in between touring and just kind of spread it out. We find that that's the best method rather than, at least for us, than knocking a whole album out in like 1 or 2 months because that time in between really gives you that objectiveness
Mm.
and that space from it where you come back fresh, inspired, you have a whole different outlook on the song. So we did that. I think the first track, to answer your question, was If It Doesn't Hurt. I flew out to LA to work with this guy Wizard Blood, who's ended up being our producer, and a guy Zach Cervini, and we busted that song out in like 6 hours. It was just flowing, and that song was basically done. And then I brought the band in, and they came out to LA later and did the instrumentation, redid the instrumentation that we had created, and that was probably 2.5 years ago or so. So I've been sitting on that one for a while, so it's been really great to see it finally out there. But yeah, we started writing pretty quick after Spirits. We wanted to pick up the pace, especially since COVID. It really just drug everything down. So our goal was faster.
And man, there's so many different elements to this record that weave in and out, and I think that's something you guys seem to do very, very well. There's a little bit of heavy stuff, the big melodic pop hooks with a little bit of hip hop in there as well. Do you consciously, set out to write certain styles within your style, or how does that work with you guys?
Um, yeah, I think we all just have a lot of different influences uh, among the different members in the band. So I usually bring a lot of the electronic side to whatever we organically lay down. I do a lot of programming and production and effects work, and we also we all have different hands in different areas. So when I'm writing lyrics, Daniel and Mark are a part of that process. And in the same way, when Mark's tracking a guitar part, I'm spitballing ideas at him like, hey, try this chord instead of that chord. Or so we're all very kind of cross involved from our little spheres of our own instrument. And I think that is what brings that mix of sounds into the rock metal thing.
And it works, dude. I mean, there's that thing up the back there that still works. Yeah. uh,
Yeah,
man,
thanks.
you've got some great guests on the record too, like David Drainman and Eric from I Prevail and Sinister. Like, how was it working with those guys? And how did it come about recruiting them? Do you write for them in mind? Is that something that happens, or do you just sort of go, "This is a song for David," and put out the disturbed signal in the sky, and he comes to the studio? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, we put out the bat signal and
That signal.
David Draymond shows up. Um, he just lands and he's like, "Oh, wow!" And we're like, "There he is!
He goes,
Let's
"Ah,
get
there he
him!"
is."
Yeah, he's brought his power. Um, yeah, no, we played a show in Switzerland with Disturbed and I Prevail, the same show, and a lot of times the amount of time that you get to hang out with the other bands you're playing with is really situation dependent. Like sometimes you just have to play your show, get in the bus and leave because of the amount of driving time it takes to get to the next one. So sometimes there's situations like that where you don't even get to hang out with the band you're playing with, or the backstage situation is not really set up for hanging out. Everybody kind of goes to their own buses, and but this particular show, it was just perfectly set up, and we had enough time afterwards to really shoot the shit, have some drinks, and hang out. And so we got to hang out with the Disturb guys and the I Prevail guys, um, and we just hit it off. And we knew the Disturb guys before because we had toured with them, but I Prevail, they were kind of new to us. So it was after that, we just kind of hit it off and we came back to the States and we were continuing to write and record. And one of the songs in particular, House on Sand, we're like, Eric would be perfect for this. And we just got along so well with Eric that he was the first person that came to mind. And then with David Draymond, of course, he was someone we'd always would love to work with, but we didn't have a specific song in mind yet. And as we got closer and closer to, at first it was going to be, um, I think Stuck. We were going to have David Draymond on that one, and then we got closer to releasing something. We're like, I think Angel Song's a better song for him. It might be more interesting because it's less metal and it'd be kind of just a different take on it for him. It wouldn't be what everybody would expect. And then the Sinister thing, he's in a totally different genre. He's kind of in the funk, like PHONK subgenre of kind of hard electronic music. And we came across him because we were listening to this artist Cordell, and it's all because our manager's son is, I think, just real into like shooter games, like first person shooter games. And that style of music really took off in that demographic, kind of young boys playing these games. And he's one of those kids. And he told his dad, our manager, about Cordell. So we started listening to this genre kind of as we were writing our album. We're like, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. There is kind of like this crossover between heavy music in the rock and metal world and heavy for like the electronic world. And so we heard this song that Sinister did with Cordell. Long story short, reached out to him and he was stoked. And then we literally just got back this last week from LA shooting a music video with Sinister for the song Stuck. So that'll be our next focus track.
That's awesome, man. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's fun.
yeah. But I mean, the interesting thing about that Angel song, um, that that song. Sorry, let me back this up. I'm having the early morning brain fog, and
Hey, I get it.
and it just
No,
went. My brain just went. Hang on 1 minute.
dude, I get
Oh
it. All
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
My
Cool.
brain doesn't even work at that hour, so I have a lot of sympathy over here.
Yeah, you hear a bit of a rattling around. The interesting thing about that song is that David doesn't sound like David. He seems to have adapted into your style, and there are certain things that you do in the song that I think is something that he would do. It's really is that something that you consciously did or wrote?
No, honestly, we had written and recorded that song in its entirety before we asked him to be involved. So I had already recorded a second verse. and done all this stuff. And then we, when you're asking someone like David Drainman, who's been in the industry that long and is that accomplished, um, sometimes those people like would prefer something kind of finished,
Mm.
excuse me, because of they have very little time. And so we kind of just wanted to hand it or deliver it ready to go. He either says, yes, I like it, or no, he doesn't. Whereas on the other hand, we've had the opposite experience as well, where on our last album, Spirits, we had the song Turn It Up, which actually has Surge from System of a Down on it. Nobody knows. It's kind of an Easter egg. He was in the Stand in the Fire like intro, and then in Turn It Up but he's just in these non-lyrical moments, because when we delivered it to him, he felt like it was too complete. Like he didn't have any space to be creative and do his own thing.
Yeah.
So he just sent us these like non-lyrical vocal parts. And so we couldn't really say featuring Surge from System of a Down because he wasn't really present enough for anyone to be able to pick him out. But it's kind of like an Easter egg. So with him, we should have sent him a song that was like completely unfinished. But with someone like David Draymond,
Yeah.
his time is tight. He's a busy guy. He's in between tours. So we're like, here's something complete, and you can just show up, lay it down, and leave. So it worked out with him that way.
Were you in the studio together doing it, or did he do it?
No, he did it over in LA with our producer.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and so, or I think he was in LA, or maybe he was in Vegas, but either way, he did it with our producer, Wizard Blood, and I was on the phone with them, kind of just moral support through text. I wanted to be there, but it just the timing with all the travel that we do, it was just not going to work out.
You keep mentioning Wizard Blood, and I'm like, that is the
Yeah,
best name I've heard. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm like,
it's
I
the
need a
coolest
cool
producer
name.
name.
I know. I'm like, is that on his birth certificate?
Right.
Like, that's
I hope so. He definitely brings the power of the wizard to our sessions.
that is such a cool name. What a legend.
Oh,
And of course, I mean the song Free Fall. That song is super powerful, dude. I think it's one of the best songs that you guys have written. I think people are going to connect
thanks.
to that one very deeply. I was driving my car to it, and the first time I heard it, I was like, "Man, this is amazing." And the second time, I was like, "Whoa!" Like it hit me really hard, dude. I was like, what's wrong with me?" But yeah, man, I think have you played it live
Awesome.
yet? Have
No, no, that one we're saving probably for our last single of the album. We have a I don't know how much I can reveal, but we have a secret feature, I will say, a version of that song. I
mm,
don't know which version they gave you. Did they give you the one with just me on it?
just you?
Okay, okay. So we have another version that's going to be coming out, and that other version is we had to time it to fit the other artists' um, schedule with their own singles so that it would be a win-win for both of us. So we're pushing it back to the end of the year, and because of that, we haven't really played it or rehearsed it live yet because we still have some time before that's
Yeah.
gonna really get its full push. But that one I think is gonna be a big song. I'm glad to hear that confirmation from you and from others who've kind of been in the inner circle who have listened to it.
Oh, so I'm not the only one that's mentioned it.
Yeah, no, we have shared it with a very small inner circle, and we've definitely gotten some positive, very positive feedback on that one specifically.
But I mean, you guys seem to also get bigger with each album cycle as well. And I guess with that kind of fame, there comes, the attention from public eye and media. Do you feel that, there's pressure on your personal life sometimes with that sort of thing? Like where before you could go anywhere and do anything, do you feel that, that's something you had to prepare yourself for?
Um, just being out and about in general.
Yeah. Or just
Um,
life in
it
general.
was, yeah, I mean, it's something I've had to adapt to. I think over time, it's not like it's not like being a let's say like an A-list actor or something. They really have a giant adjustment. I think just being a normal person because they can't really go anywhere in public. But I think being a musician, especially in like a rock metal genre, it's really just kind of a nice level of recognition where if I go out and about, I was at the gym the other day, had someone come up and say hi and ask if it was me, if I was the singer from Nothing More or whatever. So it's like here and there, it's just like a nice trickle of recognition to where it's really not too much of a problem or a hindrance or an annoyance. I think in general, yeah, it's just a pleasant level. I would not envy someone being on, like I said, like an A-list actor or something that's really recognized based on their face. Because we have a lot of people who know the band or know the music, but they don't really know what we look like, and
Okay.
that's nice too. You know.
Sort of disappear a bit. That's
hmm
I didn't know how it works over there. You know what I mean? Like because massive.
Yeah, it really just depends on to what level. I think there's definitely times where it becomes a disadvantage or a problem. But then in a lot of situations, it's honestly just like a nice little perk. I mean, you get somebody will show up and be like, "Hey, let me buy you a drink," or it's or
Yeah, yeah.
just kind of showing "Hey, I love the music" or this and that. So it's usually a good thing.
Especially if you're going through a drive-through. Has that happened? If you're going through and they hear you, they go, "Is
I
that you, Johnny?" You go, "No."
I I've not had the drive-through experience, but I have had the Uber Eats experience where someone came to my door, brought some food, and I was like, "Hey, thank you so much." I actually went to the door, got it, and I have a video of it. It's on like the Ring doorbell at the time. This is back when I was living in Louisiana, but you see the person, the delivery person, walk back to their car and then stop, and you could tell they're like thinking, like doing a double take. And then they walk back to the door. They knocked on the door. And I thought at the time, okay, surely they must have forgotten to give me something like some ketchup or, a side order. And I go back out. I'm like, yeah, did you forget something? And he's like, have you heard of the band Nothing More? And that's how they said it. I was like, yeah, I've heard of them. So that there's little funny instances like that. And I go, yeah, I'm singing that band, and he's like, "What? What are you doing here?" And it just blew his mind that he was delivering some hangover food to me at the time. I think it was probably some Whataburger or whatever.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But I mean, in a few days, your self-titled album turns 10. That's where I jumped on.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's crazy, man. Wow, it makes me feel so old.
oh man, what are you 32, 33?
No, a little higher, a little higher.
No, no,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm
35.
I'm 37.
Okay, yeah, yeah. See, you look super young, so
Well,
there you
that's good.
go.
I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Trying.
Late, young forever. But I mean, are you celebrating it in some way? Have you got a plan for that?
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do personally. I'm sure we'll go out and celebrate each in our own towns because we live all over the place now as
Hmm.
a band, but we are gonna have a excuse me, 10th anniversary re-release of the self-titled, and we're gonna have some deluxe kind of unreleased stuff that will come out with it on that version, and also like a really nice 10-year vinyl that's going to be like gold lined and all kinds of updated artwork, and it'd be like a nice collector's piece.
Is there a date for that, or is it
um I should know this answer, but I it's usually something I'd ask my manager, but it's coming up.
okay? Cool. Do
Yeah,
you want me to give you my credit
soon.
card details now, or do you want to like
Yeah, yeah,
give my
you can
wallet?
just
I'll just
you can give
mail my
me
wallet.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and if you see any weird charges on there, wasn't
Okay.
me.
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Um, this hangover charge. Nah, man, I'm so keen for that. I'm so keen for that with my
Yeah.
wallet and my wife's like, "What's all this vinyl?" I go, it's just, it's Uber Eats. Um, and, now I can't. Now, what's the touring plans? You got heaps of stuff coming up over there with who are you touring with over there? I had a
Um,
uh
yeah, we're coming up
Godsmack.
September. We got Oh yeah, yeah. So we got some Godsmack dates coming up. We have some festivals coming up, like Louder Than Life and Aftershock. There's some big ones this year, but we have the biggest or I'm sorry, the biggest tour we're doing for this year is going to be in September. We have a headline tour. We're going to have uh Set It Off and From Ashes to New, and the first band is called Post Profit. It's a little Texas band that we're bringing out that we absolutely love, and we're just, we whenever we find a Texas band, because that's where we're from,
Hmm.
that's kind of on that ground level but they rock, we always try to help them out or give them some kind of profile, because kind of paying it forward kind of a thing. So check them out. Post Profit, really cool band.
Man, I'm gonna do that. And what about look, you've probably been asked a million times, but we're waiting, bro. Let's
Dude, we tried, man. We gotta we're gonna try again. We're gonna try to get it to work this next time. Hopefully, fingers crossed for 2025. Back to Australia.
man, that'd be unreal. Because man, it was Soundwave. That's right, it was Soundwave.
Yeah. That was the
Man,
last time, man. It's been forever.
yeah, I know, man. And that was great. And you know what? People still talk about that. I got mates like
Really?
I didn't know at the time. Yeah, yeah. And they in Brisbane, they're like, "Did you see nothing more?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, like that,
Nice.
man." You
Hell
left a
yeah.
massive impression that day. So
Well, that's great to hear. Yeah, it's definitely on our top of our list right now of places that we're wanting to hit again. And one of the bands from Australia, I believe they're from Australia. Is it Northlane? Are they
yeah,
from Australia?
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites right now, man. I listen to them when I'm working out or driving, or I've just been really digging their stuff. So maybe a Northlane tour. We'll see.
That would actually be really cool. Hey, like Marcus
Yeah.
is one of the best dudes. Hey, um, should
Which one is he? I've
singer.
yet to meet them.
Yeah, the singer
Okay.
Marcus, one of the best dudes around. You should reach out
Okay.
to him. Like,
Okay.
I reckon
Cool.
you'd really get along. Like, he is legit. Like, he gets up there and he's like this vocal monster, but off stage he's like, "Hey, man, how you going?" Like, he's just a really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
we definitely get along. That their music's right up our alley. Like we were big Karnivool fans for so many years, still are, but it was nice to have another band that's a little more active, putting out stuff that's in that world that we really like. And I saw that Karnivool actually, Ian, featured on one of their new songs, so I thought that was dope.
yeah, yeah, man. And they just did a massive tour. They came out of hiding for a bit, Carnival, and started playing some
Oh,
shows.
really?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't get to
Awesome.
go, but the guys in my team who covered it, they were like, it was unreal. It's like, still no new album. Come on, man. Like, we gotta.
I know, I know. God, I just stop hoping. I just don't even think about it. And if they surprise me one day, I'll be super happy. But I try not to hold out for it anymore.
Oh man, it's one of those things, hey. But Australia's really, I don't know, man. There's heaps of bands that are reaching out around the world at the moment, like Alpha Wolf. You heard of those
Oh,
guys?
they're Australian. Oh, that's right, they're Australian. Yeah, they're sick. Yeah,
Everyone's
really
Australian
heavy.
now. Polaris, another great band. Uh,
Oh yeah, my buddy just got me into them. I'm starting to listen to them.
yeah, another great band. Relica, Reliqa, a
Okay,
really, really good. I reckon you
Relica.
dig them. I reckon
Okay,
you right up your alley. Yeah, their new albums.
Relica.
Relica,
Now,
Relic.
I'll,
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that in. I'll try to remember at the end of the interview. I'm gonna put that in
yeah,
my
yeah. That's cool. But
list.
and Snake Mountain. That's my band. Anyway,
Okay, nice.
just
Okay,
shake this.
Relica and Snake Mountain.
Just no, but Relica are really good, man. There's heaps of stuff
Okay,
popping here in Australia. It's crazy, but I think you'd dig.
nice.
I'll make you a mixtape. Um,
Yeah, a lot of good musicians in Australia. I like there's like a cool the prog metal scene. There seems like some cool stuff that comes out of Australia in that world.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's really popping down here. It's really cool, and they're making big waves overseas, which is we're taking over. Everyone's going to be wearing
Yeah.
thongs and, you know, I mean, look, we're already like, we got Bluey everywhere. I don't know if you got kids, but Bluey's taken over the world.
I
That's
don't know. I don't know Bluey.
Bluey
Who's that?
is okay. Bluey's a kid show about a blue
Okay.
dog family, and it's all dogs. It's great. It's like there's parent jokes in there too, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everywhere, dude. And one of our like
Really?
yeah, so there's a band from Australia called Custard, and that I used to see
Hmm.
when I was a teenager. The singer of Custard,
Yeah.
Dave, he voices the dad. So it's like where it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But anyway, that's
Oh,
me
awesome.
rambling about
Awesome.
my own country. Um, anyway, dude, it's been really good hanging out with you again, man. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah. Likewise, man. Thanks for waking up at the crack of dawn here.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just gonna like fall down on the desk now. But
You take a nap after this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You'd be
Go
like,
make some sandwiches for your kids.
yeah, they can make their own damn sandwiches. But I'll have all the links down here in the show notes and on the show notes on the website. Brother, take care, and we'll see you hopefully next year.
Sounds good. I'll see you then. Cheers, y'all.